Shalom, family. Welcome to another episode of Awa Israel Lives. Guys, I'm getting ready to make a very tasty Asian pho. P-H-O. It took me a while before I knew how to pronounce it correctly. But what we're going to use to make our pho, we're going to make our own vegetable broth, which we're going to use that with bouillon cubes and miso, okay? That's the first thing we're gonna do. After we, I'm using seasoning, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. But I'm not going to season it until after I've cooked the broth for a little bit to get all the flavors out. So I'll know how much seasoning I'll need. So once we have the broth done, and while the broth is cooking, I'm going to use tofu. I'm going to cube the tofu, and I am going to season it with black salt, okay? That's going to give it a little eggy taste. It'll taste kind of like an egg, okay? And then I am going to chop up veggies. That's going to go in the pho. We have green onion. We have a red onion. We'll slice these really thin. And then we have mushrooms. I wanted shiitake mushrooms, but they're so expensive. So I just got regular mushrooms, and we're going to chop those really, really small. We have bean sprouts for me that will go in there. So my protein is bean sprouts, tofu, and then edamame, which is soy bean seeds. And for my husband here, he has boiled eggs that's going into his pho. So real quick, we're going to get at it. We're going to go ahead on and start making the broth. Now this is 6 cups of water. So with the vegan chicken broth, it's not chicken broth. This is by let's see, Edwards and Sons, okay? You can get this at Kroger's. Basically, for every 2 cubes, you use 4 cups of water. So I use 3 cups of water, so I am going to be, I'm sorry, I have 6 cups of water, so I'll be using 3 cubes. And like I said, once I get these cubes in here, we're going to just go ahead on and put it on the stove with the miso in it, and then we're going to let it break down. We're going to taste it, and then I'll determine how much salt I need, how much pepper I need, how much onion powder or garlic powder that I need, if any, okay? So here's 3 cubes. We're going to use about a tablespoon, a nice heaping tablespoon of miso. Miso, you can get it at your Asian store, but you can also get it at Kroger's, but you're going to get a better price if you get it at the Asian store, okay? So now we have the base for our miso minus the seasonings, okay? So we'll go ahead on and put this on the stove, and while this is cooking, I'm going to start working with my tofu to get it soaked and make it taste like egg. Okay guys, now we're going to work with the tofu here. We want to cube these pretty small, okay? Anytime as a plant-based person who do not eat eggs, I make tofu eggs. I don't use a lot of tofu, but sometimes I do, okay? And anytime I want eggs, tofu is my go-to, and I use black salt, and guys, it really tastes a lot like egg. I make it for my husband sometime, and he actually likes it. But if you're a male, tofu, I only use organic tofu, but there's a lot of bad research about tofu regarding estrogen. So if you have had breast cancer or any type of cancer, or males, some people recommend that you don't touch tofu, okay, because it apparently it's supposed to have high levels of estrogen, you know. And then I've also read some doctors who said, well, if you're low in estrogen, that you can have it sometime. You just have to have it in moderation. That's basically, you know, my take with the tofu. But whenever I want fried chicken, I season my tofu up like chicken, and I batter it and I fry it. But I haven't done that in, I can't tell you how long, because I don't do that very often. But as you can see, I got these cubed pretty well. Now the black salt, I'm gonna see if I can let you kind of see. This is what the black salt actually looks like. And you can get it at the Indian store. And you have to put it in your mortar and break it down. And I've already done that. So I am just going to sprinkle my tofu with the salt. And you all, this will really, you don't want to use too much, but you also want to put it in the broth. So it's going to lose some of the salt, but you want to put enough in there to where it's going to sit here and soak in. And when we get ready to build our pho bowl, it'll be nice and eggy, okay? So now we have the tofu sitting there, egging all up. So now it's time to chop the vegetables as well as slice. Now the thing about a pho, you don't want your veggies thick. You want them like razor thin, okay? So I just take my onion, and you have to be careful. This is a mandala, okay? And I probably should be using my my glove. Hey guys, this glove here actually kind of helps you keep from cutting yourself. It's not 100% foolproof, but it really helps with keeping, you know, those little nasty cuts down. And I've been cutting myself a lot lately, so you definitely want to use this when you're cutting or when you're using the mandala, okay? So I think I'm saying it wrong. I think it's mandolin. But anyway, so we have our onion razor thin, okay? So we got those cut. You see how quick that was? So this stuff that's left over, I'll just use this onion for something else, okay? I'll be cooking something tomorrow, so no need to waste it. But that's how thin they are. So now we're just going to do the same with the mushrooms. I'm only doing 4 mushrooms. And the ones that's left over chunky, I might just kind of use them for something else. All right, let's see how our thin mushrooms, we lost a lot, but just for 2 people, they're pretty thin. So that's gonna be enough, but I may go ahead on and chop up or try to shave a few more, okay? So we have our mushrooms, we have our onions done, okay? We just want to do our green onion, guys. I have already washed these. So basically, I just like to take my shears. I actually got this from my husband. These don't have to be like super small, but you know, you go as small as you want, okay? And you just cut them. You can use a knife, but the scissors do the job very well. And these scissors are only used for food, so we don't use them for anything else other than cooking, okay? All right. I think we have enough green onions. Okay, so the green onions go into the container here. And guys, I try to use all glass containers just for health purposes. Okay, so that's that. Our bean sprouts, they're already ready, so we don't have to do anything to that. And Amadi's egg, or my husband's egg, is already done. So all I have to do now is shell the edamame. Basically, you just shell them. And I'm not going to make you sit through this. I'm going to go and finish shelling this. Maybe by the time we come back, the broth will be broken down and we'll go ahead and taste that and determine if we need any more seasonings. Okay, guys, see you in a bit. Okay, guys, we're back. The broth is actually amazing. I tasted it. It absolutely doesn't need any seasoning. So, like I said, this is 6 cups. We use 3 veggie cubes, 1 heaping tablespoon of miso paste. So now it's all ready. Okay, guys, this is probably one of the quickest meals that you will make. The broth is ready. Everything is prepped. We have our, I'm using tofu that's been seasoned with black salt. Amadi's, my husband, he's using eggs for his protein, and then I threw bean sprouts in for a little extra protein for me. We have mushrooms. We have very thinly sliced mushrooms and onion. Then we have green onion, and then we have our edamame, our soybeans. So I forgot to cut the seaweed. I absolutely love seaweed in my pho. So I just cut it down so that when we put it in our soup, it's just gonna dissolve, okay? So this is the final thing that we need before we actually start putting our pho together. And for those who don't know, pho is just like a hearty Korean or Asian style soup, okay? And I'm making it vegan style. Now, right before we get ready to put the bowl together, you have to have very thinly sliced noodles. Now, this is a rice noodle. You can get this, I think I got this at Trader Joe's, but you can get this at the Asian store. But you need thinly, just real thin noodles. Any Asian noodle that's thin will work. I prefer to use like a bean sprout noodle, just because it's healthier for you. So, but my husband had this. Left over from another pho that he used. So we're going to go ahead on and use it. So you actually want to put this in the bowl. And now that we have everything pretty much done, I'm going to go ahead on and put the bowl together for you. Okay, guys, we got the broth to a boil. Now everything's ready to assemble. So we're going to assemble the vegetarian bowl first. So we have our rice noodle here, and we're going to add our egg. Our mushrooms. And if you have a really nice seasoned broth, you do not have to season the vegetables, okay? We're going to give him some onions, some green onions. We're going to give him some red onions. He likes edamame. And now the broth. Okay guys, this is a beautiful pho. We add the seaweed. Let's add a little more broth. And guys, this is pho. Okay guys, so real quick, we're gonna put together the vegetarian or the vegan pho. I'm going to put my tofu in. My bean sprouts. I had to thaw these in the microwave, and I normally don't do that, but I forgot to take them out today. So, green onions, red onions, mushrooms, edamame, I'm going to put my seaweed in. I'll put just a little more tofu. I'm going to pour mine in. Okay guys, here's the vegan pho.